everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is not a news anymore that Australia has opened their border for caregivers from outside Australia or in Australia to come in to work as a caregiver. Due to the shortage in the aged care industry, Australian government has made up a caregivers visa that allows experienced caregivers from overseas to find an employer to sponsor them to come to Australia to work for that employer. And for an employer to sponsor you, they have to have signed an agreement with the Australian government under the Labour Agreement. So when you're looking for an employer to sponsor you under this caregivers visa, be sure that you're looking for an employer that is under the Labour Agreement. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how you can assess your qualification or your experience and start looking for a job in Australia. There are two assessing authorities in Australia that can assess your qualification or experience. I have done a video for NMAC, which is ANMAC. I'm going to be leaving it in my description box because they are the ones that assess for nursing assistant and personal care assistant, but I'm focusing on ACWA today, and they are the ones assessing for aged care workers, disability workers, and home care workers, which UK people call domiciliary carers. I'm going to be taking you to their website so we can read their requirements and the costs to get this assessment. Before we go to the website, I want you to also note that you need to get a positive assessment before you can actually look for a job, because the employers will ask you for that, and you don't need to have English test to do your assessment, whether with ACWA or ANMAC. None of them will ask you for English test. However, if you're applying for your visa, you must have at least a competency in English. Let us go to ACWA and see what their requirement is all about. This is the official website for ACWA, and you can see this is the Skill Assessment Authority for the Occupation Aged and Disabled Carer, ANSCO code 423111. In connection with the Aged Care Industry Labour Agreement. It is an initiative with the Australian government to address current workforce shortage in the aged care industry and to streamline the recruitment of skilled direct carers from overseas to work in Australia. You can learn more about this in the Home Affairs website, and they can assess you through different categories, whether your relevant qualification, work experience, currency, and they also mention that they will not assess English language competency for you. So this is it, guys. Aged or disabled care ANSCO code description. So this is the description of the job that they expect you to do. So check it out. Make sure the keywords are in your resume. And they also mention assess nursing support worker or personal care assistants. The assessing authority for that is AMNAC. You can check them out. Check my description box to go to their website. So this is the common occupation title. It might not be aged care or disability, but if you can find your title here and your job experience is relevant to that, then you can actually apply for this. Home care worker, domestic worker, disability, and so on. So check it out and be sure that the title and the experiences matches your occupation. Eligibility is either you have relevant qualification, that is SAT 3 or higher, or you have a relevant qualification and 12 months of relevant full-time work or part-time, whether in Australia or overseas as an aged care or disabled carer. So be sure that you met the eligibility before you go and do your assessment, guys. So under this eligibility, you will see the assessment criteria. So for these assessment criteria, these are the things that they need you to have. Relevant qualification, that's the certificate 3 or higher in individual support, whether you obtained it over. Also need to put your vocational placement or practical training, so you can check that out. And work experience, if you do not have a certification or qualification, then you need to have at least 18 months of relevant work experience that can cover for your qualification. Okay, so they came back here to explain what the relevant qualification it's all about. So they want you to have this following under here. That's support independence and well-being, meet personal support needs, work with people with mental health and issues, and even dementia, support relationship with families and friends. So check it out and also use that in your resume. Keywords are important. What is meant by vocational placement? This is a placement whereby you go to the organization and do some training or internship. If you're in Australia, anybody that works as an aged care or disability support worker would have done a 1 month or 6 weeks placement. So this is what they are asking you, and they need evidence that you have done that. So for work, you need to show that you're paid full-time or part-time, minimum of 12 months with your qualification, or minimum of 18 months without your qualification. Okay, so for currency criteria too, you can read that up. That's about the placement that I have mentioned before. Make sure you mention it and you show evidence of that industrial paid employment, okay? And just read about it, guys. Go to ACWA website, check out, make sure you check all the documents before you apply. So this is the document checklist. You will need a certified copy of your passport and other identification like your driver's license. So whereby you have the qualification, you need to show your qualification, the dates that you are awarded that, your transcript, and evidence of your placement, that's your internship. So if you have industrial experience as well, you need to also show your relevant work experience, like your offer letter, your pay slip, hours that you have worked in your reference letter, and your resume as well. So check out all these things and make sure you follow what they have written here, so you will not just go and waste your money. For industrial currency, you also need to show the minimum of at least 3 months relevant experience or 18 months of official description of that industrial experience. You are allowed to use agent if you want to, and some other documents, supporting documents that you would need. So here, if an original document is not written in English, please try and translate it in English for non-English speakers. Okay, so this is how you can lodge your application. Right now they are not taking application, but they want you to send them an email, so when they start taking application for aged care and disabled carers, you'll be the first to be notified. Okay, cost is 595 Australian dollars. Don't worry, guys, I will let you guys know when they start taking applications.